Hey guys, welcome to lesson 17. More stuff on the number line, fractions, mixed numbers, mixed fractions, number line fraction numbers, fraction mixes, line numbers, all kinds of stuff today. So let's go back first and define the word integer. Remember what that is? An integer? It's like going on to infinity up to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then on to infinity. Okay. The difference between that and whole numbers is that whole numbers, technically in math, is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. But integers can include negative numbers as well. So the number line, of course, you know exactly what that is. So let's take a look at this. There's some little different things we're going to do with the number line today. It's kind of fun. All right, mixed numbers on a number line. You know what a mixed number is, right? You've seen these, like 2 and 5/8 or whatever, or 7 and 9/11 or things like that. That's a mixed number because it mixes an integer and a fraction. So that's a mixed number. You can do these on a number line. Now, if you look at the way like this, you don't see any mixed numbers. But let's say you had 2 and 5/8. You could stick it somewhere like right there. And you could label it, 2 and 5/8 or something like that. If you wanted to do -1 and 1/4 or something like that, you could stick it right there. You could go, oh yeah, that's -1 and 1/4, somewhere between -1 and -2. That's okay to do that. And what they do is on these number lines with mixed numbers, they'll have number lines that have those little tick marks between the integers to show you. And you'll have to count those and figure out where you are. And like I said on this next slide, it's on an upcoming slide, it's just like looking at a ruler, basically. Those little tick marks on rulers that say 4ths and 8ths and 16ths and 32nds and 64ths and 128ths and 256 and 512ths and 1024ths and 2048ths and 4009ths. Okay, never mind, it's too much. Okay, so let's look at point A. What does that represent on this number line? Well, if you look at this, you go, okay, there's a 1, there's my 2, and how many tick marks are there between it? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got 5, right? So each one of those is a fifth. So this would be 1, of course, the integer. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/5. So that's 1 and 4/5. That's your mixed number. You can do it on a number line, all right? Like a ruler, like we just said a minute ago. Let's go to page 84. Give you a second. Pause it and turn to page 84 in your book. And you can use your ruler, so grab your ruler. Find the length of this line segment to the nearest 16th of an inch, and the one right below that. So do that first. Pause it if you need to. And basically, you can just, at the very end, you can see that this thing is about 2 7/8 inches long, or 14/16 if you counted the 16ths. So it's right there. It's the same thing as doing mixed numbers as fractions. All right. Practice problems, we only have A through G. The last 3 you're going to need to measure with your ruler, so get that out and get ready. So let's go ahead and pause it and try A, see what you get. All right, the sequence. Look at that. 1/16, 1/8. In other words, 1/16, 2/16, right? Isn't 1/8? Isn't 1/8 the same thing as 2/16? Yes. Okay. So 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16. 4 over 16 is 1/4, right? Same thing. So you just keep going and going and going. And if you notice here, 9/16, then this next number you might have put 10/16. If you did, that's fine. That's true. It's not reduce as much as you could. 10/16 is 5/8. 11/16, then 12/16 is 3/4. And all the way. If you want to pause it, go ahead. This is 1 and 1/16, 1 and 1/8, 1 and 3/16, and so on. So if you need to pause it, check yours and see what you do. All right, when you do that, go ahead and pause it and try B, see what you get. Okay, halfway between -2 and -3, -2.5, right? Right there. Make sure you put the negative in there because that's a big difference between 2.5 and -2.5. All right, pause it and try C. All right, 2 and 5, well, that's going to be 3.5, right? Exactly between 3.5 will be, exactly between 2 and 5 will be 3.5. Pause it and try D. All right, D was the ticks between 1 and 2, and this time there were 6 of them. So you shouldn't have put in 4/5 because there were 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 1, and then they had the fraction was 5 out of 6 or 5/6. Okay, pause it and try E. You'll need your ruler for these next 3, so pause it and try E. The nearest 16th of an inch of E, what'd you get? I'm not going to speak for you. Okay. F, I'm not going to speak for you either. G, I'm not going to speak for you. What did you get? Okay, if it was on an even number on any of these, like 2 and 6/16, when you see that, go ahead and transfer, reduce the 6/16 to 3/8, for example. I'm not saying that's one of the answers. I'm just saying if you get that. Now, if you have 3 and 7/16, well, fine, leave it like that. That's okay. It's an odd number. 2 won't go into both those numbers, so you can reduce it. Okay, that is it for today. No warm-ups, just, you kind of got to do the warm-ups, right? So do those first. So have a good time. See you next time. Y'all take care.